just making his way over to our radio position ringside here at Upton Park now, just being consoled by Jimmy Tibbs, the man who rebuilt and remodeled Kevin Mitchell from the aggressive box fighter we have seen in the past to the calm, methodical boxer he had displayed in his previous 2 contests. Just joining us now at ringside, Kevin, commiserations on your first professional loss. Just tell us how the contest went, how it broke down from your point of view.
I thought I was winning. Yeah, I was on top of the fight. He lured me in. He went on his back foot, which he done. I've seen him do it before, and he lured me in and thought I was on top. And bang, he started attacking forward, and as he does, he rushes forward with his big punches. Walked me on the one, and yeah, wobbled. That was it.
Well, Kevin, yeah, that's what we saw there. The change of tactics from Katsidis. He was trying to get you in. You had obviously seen the fight with you and Prescott, see how well you executed the boxing in that contest, and he tried to draw you in. And we said before that was the last place you really wanted to be. You didn't want to be standing there early on with Katsidis. We thought you was going to stay on the back foot.
Yeah, that was a game plan. So me, Jimmy, and Mark, we've been in the gym working a long time on it, doing that sort of thing, working on our back foot, boxing man. And I realised that, well, I landed a few shots, I realised he wasn't as strong as he was meant to be, you know, until he landed the crucial shot, which caught me in and shook me a bit on the ropes and stopped the fight.
And the problem is that with Katsidis, when he lands the one shot, he's not like other fighters like Prescott. When he lands one, then another 10 come after that, and he didn't give you that respite, did he?
No, exactly. He landed the first shot, which was a good shot. I thought I could recover that, and I went over to my left-hand side, wobbled a bit, and then obviously the ref jumped in, but that was a good shot. Good champion, Mark Katsidis, good warrior, and to tell the truth, what I've watched him in the past is a constant, consistent attacking. Today he switched up a little bit, he moved on his back foot, lured me into it, and done very well what he done. Good, well done to him.
How big a surprise was that to you and your team in the corner, Kevin, the fact that he wasn't just a relentless pressure fighter we've seen in the past, that he did kind of change his game up a bit? How big a surprise was that to you?
You know, I wouldn't say it's a big surprise, you know. You've got to learn to adapt to that. Jimmy and Mark have been able to do brilliant things in the gym. He's a good champion, Michael. He mixed with some brilliant fighters, awesome talents, and probably mixed at a higher level than me so far. But I mean, I'll be back from this, trust me, I promise I'll beat that kid there, I promise you.
Well, Kevin, thanks for taking the time to talk to us. Massive crowd here, they all cheered you on, they've all given you a massive round of applause, and we thank you for taking the time to speak to us.
Thank you so very much.
It wasn't your night.
Thanks, cheers.
Now, Frank Warren, the promoter of Kevin Mitchell, massive night, massive promotion for you. What do you do with Kevin Mitchell now after suffering his first professional defeat?
Well, obviously he's got, you know, we've got to meet up in the next couple of weeks and decide where we're going to go. You know, I was disappointed the way it ended for him. Obviously all tactics went out the window, and he wound up coming down and fighting to the other guy's level, which he shouldn't have done.
Did the tactics go out the window, Frank? Because it looked like he sprung a bit of a surprise by going backwards and almost was setting traps for Kevin Mitchell.
You know, Kevin didn't need to get into a tear-up with, you know, with this guy whatsoever. You know, it was all about long shots, keeping it long, using his speed, throwing his jab, and that was the game plan. But unfortunately, Katsidis was fast, he was strong, and he didn't let him settle down. He was running him at times and jumping on him and trying to, you know, take him out of his stride, which is what he was successful in doing.
Frank, you're absolutely right. Do you think, Frank, with hindsight now, that perhaps 17,000 people, the 3-week build, do you think it maybe got to Kevin?
No, I don't think it's the people got to him. I mean, you know, look, at the end of the day, it was a purse bid. We paid a lot of money to win it, and it's got to stack up to get that opportunity. You know, all fighters want to fight in front of their home crowds. They want to be at home, and he was at home. But unfortunately, it wasn't his night. You know, Katsidis, you've got to give it to him. What he did, he came here and he took him totally out of his stride.
I agree with that, but before the bell started, you know, when they were in the middle of the ring, Kevin against Prescott is calm, he's relaxed, he's just looking around, and suddenly Kevin tonight was chomping at the bit and glaring. It just seemed to me like he wasn't as calm as I wanted to see him and as I saw him against Prescott. I'm saying the crowd was great. I'm wondering if perhaps that got to him a little bit, and he, you know, wore his heart on his sleeve a bit, Frank.
I think, you know, I mean, that was one of his faults a couple of years ago, which I was really, you know, we sat down and we worked it out with Jimmy when he came in, was, you know, using his heart, fighting with his heart rather than his head. He didn't use his head tonight. He'll always fight with his heart, but the fact of life is, you know, it happened. You can't, you know, we all see what happened, or you heard what happened on the radio. That's what it was. Katsidis, his game plan was to come and take him out of his stride, and it's exactly what he did. And Kevin didn't stick to his task.
And so, clearly this has clouded and coloured everything about the evening, Frank, but what are your thoughts on the promotion as a whole? Can you have any thoughts about the promotion, the success it's been given the result?
Well, it's been, I mean, as far as the promotion is concerned, it's been a great evening, hasn't it? We've had some good wins, some good fights, big crowd. You know, this is what it's all about. This is what I certainly like putting on events like this, and it's just unfortunate we didn't get the result that we wanted. But that's boxing for you.
You've been around champion after champion. When a guy suffers his first professional loss, how did his sense of self change? How do you convince him that he don't become a bad fighter overnight?
Well, you know, we see it with Amir Khan. You know, in the last couple of years, he got blasted out in one round, and he's come back. He's world champion. You know, if Kevin's got in him what I think he's got in him, then he should be able to come back for this. But he's got to learn from it. So it's all real coming back. You can always give a fighter another fight. It's what they learn from their defeat, and that is the sign and the quality of a good fighter, that he can learn from it. And if he doesn't learn from it, then the same thing will happen again.
So, in the aftermath, the immediate aftermath, when do you think we can expect an announcement as to how the rebuilding process of Kevin Mitchell will take place?
Kevin will take the summer off, and you know, it's virtually the end of the season anyway. So you know, we'll have him out sometime in late September, October, provided he wants to do that. I'm sure he will do, but we'll have a sit down and we got to talk and try and find a route back for him and get him back into contention again.
Well, Frank, very many thanks for stopping by. Not been a night that all the fans wanted, but thank you for taking the time to speak with us. So, Kevin Mitchell suffers his first professional loss in his 32nd professional contest, the biggest fight of his life, in front of the Upton Park faithful here in the East End of London. Didn't go his way, stopped in round number 3 at the 1:57 mark of round number 3. Michael Katsidis retains the interim WBO lightweight world title.